Is Light secretly asking for help, sending out a signal for SOS? Blink fast 3 times and someone is threatening you. Oh, I'm always threatened, Papi. I'm always threatened. I'm not safe. They took my pants. So we're getting into this. We're getting into our final best of 3 of the night. The final qualifying match for GSL Code S. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Babylon, we have the Canadian Zerg player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Scarlett. Ooh, going for a 14 hatch. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have her opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing himself. It is sOs. Okay, so it's going to be a 14 hatch into a 15 pool from... Oh, wait, no, never mind. We do have an overlord on the way. But yeah, so for those wondering, there are 2 variations of these early hatch openers that have been prevalent, especially amongst the Koreans. There's a 15 hatch that we have seen earlier today that we saw, I believe, from DRG. And there's a 14 hatch, which we just saw from Scarlett. Again, just both different ways of getting your hatcheries up very early on, just to make sure you have a very secure start to the game. And against a player like SOS, I do think it's important. We have seen that he's been very fond of Glaive Adepts, and getting your natural base up and running at the natural location does mean that you have much easier creep spread. It also grants you access to this ramp, and you can wall off. You can set up a wall here to completely cut off Adepts and to have a stronger defense. So a very safe start here from Scarlett. Again, does give up a little bit of her economy to get the natural up and running. Back at home, SOS just going for a gate cyber expand. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too fancy. Yeah, from here we're getting into our openers. Now, we have seen SOS a lot on Babylon, and every single time without fail, we've seen a Twilight Council opener from SOS, but no! Gonna have to eat my words, because for the first time tonight, in what, like 5 best of 3s, SOS is going for a Stargate opener on Babylon instead. You have my attention. Are we gonna see it? We have never seen SOS go for an Oracle first. It hasn't happened. Hasn't happened. Whenever he goes for a Stargate, it's for a Void Ray. Are we going to be seeing a Void Ray here from SOS? If we do, then what will the follow-up be? I'm ready for it. Meanwhile, Scarlett is taking her 3rd base. Saturating her natural, working towards Link Speed. Again, Link Speed is delayed. This opener overall is, again, hatch, pool, gas. And there it is. Void Ray is coming out. Now, we're going to see one of 2 things. Either once again we go for a carrier rush with a fast fleet beacon, or Glaive Adepts. Historically, it has been one or the other from SOS. We'll see if he goes for one of them again, or if he goes for something different, as the Void Ray is going to be shutting down this first Overlord. We'll be taking it out. Ooh, Oracle on the way behind it. Is not going to be cancelled. And SOS is going to be looking to expand. He's saturating his natural. No, he does cancel the Oracle. There you go. He refuses to make Oracles. There's the 2nd Stargate. Show me the Fleet Beacon. There it is. The Fleet Beacon is thrown down. Once again, SOS, he's going for the carrier rush. Now, this is how he took a game off of Su. We saw that in the previous series, DRG was able to scout this ahead of time and to shut it down before it really got going. Now the pressure is on Scarlett to scout, just like DRG. Can she do so? For now, she's being very active with her links. Going to be checking the 3rd base locations. Does confirm the lack of 3rd. We do have a Roach Warren on the way. 4-minute 30 mark. Very safe Roach Warren timing here from Scarlett. It looks like she is a little bit paranoid that it could be Glaive Adepts. So she is getting ready for that. Links are being active, and she's not seeing too much here either. What's important as well with this variation of carrier rush you don't get +1 air attack. So there's a little bit, it's a little bit harder to scout as a result. So here we go, the Lings trying to get a read on things. Scarlett does have eyes on the third base, is aware there's not a 2-base all-in. But she's also aware of how late this is, and the only reason this is so late is because there has to be tech behind it. We have a lair on the way. Queen count is at 6. Ooh, very low queen count for Scarlett, but she's making a lot of Lings. And with these Lings, she's going to be applying pressure to this third. She's going to be looking to cancel. She's going to try and force a cancel, and she may even force the carriers to reveal themselves. There we go. We do get a surround on that shield battery. Carriers are revealed very early on. We have queens on the way. Scarlett has 6. She's about to have 8. Lair's about to finish up as well. Again, a very important scout here from Scarlett. And she is getting into more queen production. Lair is done, which grants access to the Spire. 3 queens are being made at a time. And there we go. The Spire is thrown down at the natural. Spores are on the way. Ooh, are these spores too late? Again, we have 8 queens to defend. 8 queens should be enough to deal with this if we have energy for transfuse. There we go. The spores are being repositioned. Scarlett is ready to receive. There we go. With the support of that spore, she should be able to hold on. This location is a little bit more exposed. Scarlett does have to be careful. But the spore finishes up just in time. And Scarlett has defended. She has defended the first 2 carriers. We have 2 more on the way. And remember, it's going to be 4 carriers. We're going to be stopping at 4 carriers into a Twilight Council, into Glaives, into a big gateway explosion. So again, SOS is hoping that Scarlett overreacts and hoping that Scarlett makes too many Corruptors. While SOS comes in with a mass Glaive Adept army. Here we go. So far, again, the queens are keeping up. There are 4 carriers. They're getting on top of the queens. Transfuses are clutch. The spores do get in position, and Scarlett does hold on. The spores not quite here to defend, though, so SOS, he can gain ground. There we go. 1, 2 queens going down. He's going to get a 3rd queen as well. Oof. A lot of damage is being dealt. Scarlett can maybe get 1 carrier up. Barely does. 1 carrier for 6 queens, 7 queens. Going to be losing 8. Every single queen goes down, but Scarlett bought enough time for those Corruptors to come out. At the same time, though, here come those Adepts. Scarlett was ready for this. She has Roaches. Lings as well. The Adepts, they do bypass the Roach army. They're getting into the main. But Scarlett has an answer. Again, it has been very trendy recently to go for this kind of style, this variation of Carrier Rush. She was ready for it. Corruptors are across time. They find more of these carriers. They do bring down the 3rd. And looking at the units lost tab, Scarlett, she got every single carrier. They all went down. The Adepts are getting a lot of drone kills, though. Oof, a lot of drones. Looking at the units lost tab, 25 drones have gone down to these Adepts. That is almost game ending. The downside, though, is that SOS doesn't have the best army. Like, the big downside to what SOS has been doing is that because he went for Glaive Adepts, he has a pretty weak ground army now. As the game goes on, his army gets outscaled. Blink just started. +1 just started. He lost all of his carriers. Here in the mid-game, SOS, his Stalkers are so weak. They're 0-0 vanilla Stalkers without Blink. And I would say that SOS is looking pretty vulnerable. Here we go. Scarlett is just amassing up an army. Is focusing on re-droning, resaturating her bases. So SOS has some time here to get into Blink and get into his upgrades. 4th base is on the way. The aggression has subsided. The game is settling down. And as we stabilize, I do want to give the edge to Scarlett here. just because she has a strong standing army, now resaturated, now up to 75 workers. Pretty good. +2 is on the way. When it comes to the supply, there is some debt supply here with these corruptors, but they did their job, and, you know, they can add a little bit of value as well by going for some caustic sprays. They can still get a little bit more damage. As Scarlett is just going for a massive Roach Ravager push. No Lings. There is a Baneling Nest, but no Lings here with this army. A +1 air attack on the way as well, because why not? I think it's worth it, especially considering that SOS has the ability to get into carriers again or get into Void Rays, so it is important to be ready for that. Here we go. Scarlett has maxed out, pushing through the center of Babylon. Rush distance by ground is very short. As Scarlett pushes in, we do have a Stalker hit squad. Going for a backstab. Trying to pull back the attention of Scarlett. Oh, we have DTs. No detection. Oh, no, there is detection. Never mind. But the DTs will hold on. Stalkers do come in for a big counterattack, and they don't get too much economic damage. They run into a Roach army. Scarlett will defend. SOS survives, though. Again, the DTs did hold on. He's living. He has a decent economy. He just has a small army. Like, he just has some building up to do. He's got 1-1, 2-2 on the horizon. He's working on Storm. Sorry, he's working on Charge. Charge.Archon Stalker. But again, Scarlett still has an overwhelming army. Gonna be pushing on through, hitting with +2. The Zealots are putting in a lot of work, though. There are no Bailings as that was happening, though. The Corruptors, they took down the Nexus. Oof. Files will connect. SOS is breaking forward. He's getting on top of the Ravagers. Very efficient trade here when it comes to the armies for SOS. But he lost his fourth. He lost his fourth. Here come the reinforcements. The Zealots are running out. Yeah, we do need Banelings. Without Banelings, the Zealots, they run rampant. The Banelings are on the way. SOS trying to set up a DT counterattack. Trying to hold onto his fourth. We have more Overseers. We have more detection. Ooh, that's a kill, not a cancel on the Nexus. As DTs are trying to get into every base. Corruptors are bleeding out, but again, Scarlett, I'm sure she's more than happy to turn back around, deal with this. She just took down a base, and now she's got a hive, working on a greater spire, which is, again, a great way to make use of her corruptors. Just outscaling SOS. And this greater spire should be the nail in the coffin. Like, Scarlett has been really struggling to end the game. She's been struggling to break this fourth. But there is no answer to Broodlords. The Blink Stalkers, they can be okay, but not ideal. As Scarlett is pushing on forward, getting us some of these Archons. We may not even need the Broodlords. As Scarlett has too much. Gets on some of the Archons, gets on some of the Sentries. Only Stalkers remain, and Banelings are rolling on forward. At the same time, we do have a counterattack, but the Prism goes down. GG gets called. It's just too much, and Scarlett will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. SOS trying to be cheeky here with that carrier rush once again. He's been very fond of it. He has done it quite a lot tonight. But Scarlett was able to scatter ahead of time, was able to, again, get away with, or prepare for the follow-up. I think that was the most important part. It wasn't just that she minimized the damage of those carriers, but it was important that she had an early Roach Warren and that she was able to have a Roach army ready for those Glaive Adepts. I mentioned at the start of the night, and maybe I should bring it up again, the fact that this build from SOS has been very trendy amongst players like Hero and Classic, they've been doing it in their own way. Whenever they go for these 4 carriers, they don't go into glaives, they go into +1 blink stalkers, which means they have a much more stronger time in the mid game. The way that SOS has been doing it is a lot more all in. It's a lot more committed, unfortunately. Whereas Hero and Classic, they have their own variation, of course. But like the initial opener is like the same concept, right? The concept of going to carriers and then going to something else afterwards. But because they've been doing it so often, Astrea's been doing it as well. Astrea is friends with Scarlett, and I'm sure she's fully aware of this build, and because that she was able to prepare, able to have a roach army in time, and deal with those adepts. And with that, Scarlett takes game 1. Now we're getting into game number 2. Fun fact, that carrier rush, Astrea did it in these qualifiers. Actually, no. He didn't do it in the qualifiers. What did we cast the other day? He did it in KSL. Did it over the weekend in the Korean StarCraft League. I think he did it against Dimaga, if I'm not mistaken. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gresvan. We have the Canadian Zerg player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Scarlett. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have her opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing himself. It is sOs. He's singing the ABBA song. Oh. Let's go. Karaoke night, Papi. I had a conversation with Asher a while back, and if I ever go to Melbourne again, if we ever meet up in IRL again, we're having a karaoke night. Asher, we're heading out onto the town. They won't know what's coming, Papi. No pants allowed. Oh, it's gonna be beautiful. It's been a while. It's been years since I've gone karaoke. Very different kind of karaoke though, that I went to. Spanish music, Korean music, of course. Beautiful. I think the last time I went karaoke was 2013? Maybe? Jesus. It's been 10 years. Oh my god. 10 years since I've been on the mic. Long time. Ay. We'll do it again. So now we do have some standard openers. Scarlett going for a hatch gas pool. This time, no early hatch timing, no 14 hatch or 15 hatch. Just a regular hatch gas pool on Gresvan. Really, my eyes are on SOS, as he has been going for these carrier rushes on Gresvan, and once again, we have a Stargate opener. Does he do the same thing 2 games in a row? No shot. No shot, Papi. Alright. I'm going to read Void Ray into third base, into Twilight Council Glaive Adepts. I'm going to say we're not seeing the carriers again. Because the only reason why I say that is because that's the only other thing we've seen from SOS when it comes to a Stargate opener. It's been one or the other. It's been either carriers or adepts, or sometimes both. Sometimes both. We'll see. See what he's got for us. Scarlett's just getting herself set up, saturating her bases, getting her third. There's that Void Ray. Is going to be looking to hunt down these overlords. And again, my money is on a Twilight Council follow-up after the third base, but we'll see. We shall see. As this was just going to be walling off and throwing down additional gateways. There it is. There's the Twilight Council. Yeah. He knows, Papi. He knows. This is going to be a Glaive Adept follow-up here from SOS. Yeah, the only reason why I guess that is because it is the only other thing that we've seen from SOS off of a Stargate opener. It's one or the other. Either Glaive Adepts or carriers. And we already saw the carriers in game 1. Does cancel. I love it. He cancels the gases as well, keeping the build hidden. How many gateways do we have? It is going to be 3 gateways for the time being. SOS should still be expanding, of course. So we've spoken about this before. So the advantage of this build is that this is a little bit out of the norm. It's a little bit out of the blue. It is difficult to scout and difficult to prepare for. The downside is that there's no robo. There's no robo, there's no warp prism, which means SOS has to warp in back at home. He has to warp in a couple of wave of adepts back at home before moving out across the map. So it is going to hit a little bit later, but ideally it surprises Scarlett. Back at home, Scarlett, we've hit the 4-minute 30 mark, and she has not thrown down a safety Roach Warren. Looks like she's going to be cutting corners and throwing down the Roach Warren at more of the 5-minute mark, which is ideal for SOS. It means that Scarlett will only have Lings to defend. Spores are on the way. 4th base is being taken. Plus on melee. No Roach Warren. And that adept count. How many adepts do we have? We are getting up to, we have 8. Getting up to 11. The adepts have now been spotted. Roach Warren gets thrown down. But again, a very late, I say late Roach Warren. This is a standard Roach Warren timing. But alas, Scarlett just wasn't aware that she needed them a little bit earlier on. The queens are being brought forward. Spine crawlers are being thrown down in the main base. The adepts have arrived. 1 queen already gets focused down. We do commit to the shade. And these adepts will clean up the majority of the Lings. More Lings on the way. A couple of drones are going down. Oh, and we do not commit to the shade. And again, because there's no Warp Prism, we can't really reinforce too easily. These are all the adepts we have. And they don't do enough. Oh, we are forced to recall as well. In the end, 1 drone. One drone. 1 drone and 1 queen. Not ideal here for SOS. He's setting up for 3 base all in. He's going for a Soul Train follow-up. We have a massive gateway explosion. It's going to be Immortals and Sentries alongside those adepts. Again, SOS is not going to be saturating this 3rd. He is just going all in. Scarlett has to be careful not to overdrone. She's got 3 base saturation, which is okay. She has to make sure she doesn't drone up more than like 70, like up to 69. Nice. Drones is okay. She has to focus on Lings, on Roaches, on Ravagers. As SOS is already moving out with 1 Immortal. Bold move. A very early move out here from SOS. Again, designed to try to catch Scarlett off guard. She does check. You just see the lack of saturation at the 3rd base. The army has arrived. And without Ravagers, these force fields are going to be able to cut up the army. Oh my god, massive force fields just catching the mineral line. But not enough of a follow-up. The drones, they do escape. Good force fields, but no follow-up. Here we go. More adepts are rocking up. More Ravagers are on the way. Queens are getting caught out. And 2 queens will go down. But here we go. Scarlett collapsing on this army. The Ravagers are having a hard time engaging. Oof, the force field's just keeping the majority of the army at bay. Finally, they go down. Finally, Scarlett, she can get on top of the army. She wants to get on top of the prism. Up. Oof. The prism will go down. We commit to the shade, but that exposes the Immortal. As the Adepts do make their way into the main base. At the same time, Scarlett trying to get on top of that last Immortal as well. And up. Up. She will get it. At the same time, looking at the Unisols, have 4 drones went down in the main base. Not bad damage, but again, SOS was all in, and SOS needed more. He needed to kill the 3rd, kill a mineral line. What does SOS have left? He's got a Bay. He's got Immortals coming out as well. Ay. Only 1 Void Ray. Oh, no! 1 Void Ray to defend it. Gets piled down. Only gateway units left. No charge, no blink. Vanilla Zealots. GG gets called. It's just too much. And Scarlett will take the series 2-0, qualifying for GSL Code S. GG. GG, well played. Scarlett will be the final player to make it to GSL. Oh, was a long road. Was a long road for a lot of these players, but we have our qualified players, and Scarlett barely makes it through towards the end. We'll be joining her housemate. We'll be joining Estrella alongside all the other Koreans. Now it is safe to exclamation mark be in the chat. Exclamation mark be in the chat, as you will get a link to the Wikipedia page. We'll get a link to all the qualified players. We can go over them now. We can go over them now. Okay, from the top, Even before we go into these qualified players, a shout out, of course, to Maru, Kyor, Gumiho, and Dark. Those 4 players, they were the top 4 players of last season's GSL, so they got invited. That's why we didn't see them in these qualifiers. 3 Terrans and 1 Zerg did get invited into the main event. Everyone else had to work through the qualifiers. Everyone else had to make it on through, and we had 12 players making it in. 6 through both nights. And here in day 1, in round 1, we had Hero, we had Stats, we had Estrella, Classic, Nightmare, and Björn advancing on through round 1. When it comes to the big names not making it, Ragnarok. Mentioned before, Ragnarok will not make it into Code S. Feels bad, man. I do think Ragnarok is deserving to be there, but this event is cutthroat. It's very cutthroat, and only the best of the best can make it through. And he went all the way to the ace match against Björn. Went all the way to the ace. Didn't make it through. Ragnarok will not be in that, or won't be in GSL Code S. Meanwhile, outside of the 6 players, we have the other remaining 6 players. Solar, Sue, Creator, Bunny, DRG, and Scarlett. Congratulations to the last 6 players making it through into the main event as well. Of course, the big names not making it through here are sOs and Keen. sOs and Keen didn't make it. And we cast a lot of sOs today. He had a lot of chances, but did not make it through in the end. Alas, instead we have more Zerg players and more Terran representation as well, making it forward into GSL Code S. So congratulations. Congratulations to all the players that made it through, to all the invited players, and look forward to GSL, as it will be commencing, I think, next week, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check. But I believe, as I quickly check, do we have a schedule? Do we have a schedule for GSL? Oh my god. 2 weeks. Okay, it's gonna be 2 weeks from now. And do we have the technology? Hold on. We can go over everything. Oh my god. It's not gonna be ideal. But here we go. Bam! There we go. Okay, so 2 weeks from now, the players are set, and the groups are also set as well. Exclamation mark be in the chat for a link to the Wikipedia page yourself. In 2 weeks and 3 days, we have Group A. Maru, oh god, Maru, Solar, Creator, and Scarlett. Oh my god. A crazy group. A little bit rough for Scarlett to be in the same group as Maru. That's going to be wild. Solar, of course, a very strong player. Creator, I mean, GSL doesn't get easy, right? Doesn't get easier. Some rough matches are ahead of us, but some high quality matches. I do look forward to watching that, to maybe even casting that as well. Group B. Also in 2 weeks, a couple of days later, is going to be a TVP group with Cure, Bunny, Nightmare, and Stats. Oh boy. Again, Stats, he has been building himself back up, but he still has a ways to go, so this is going to be a rough group for Stats. For Stats, but I do wish him the best. Meanwhile, over here in Group D, can I get a little bit... Oh, okay. Over here in Group D, over towards the edge, you can see Dark, Björn, Estrella, and DRG. 2 Zergs, a Terran, and a Protoss. And Group D here is Gumiho, Hero, Classic, and Sue. This is going to be in 3 weeks, Group C and Group D. So the groups have been finalized, and look forward to them. Look forward to them in a couple of weeks. If we have the time for it, we will be casting them via replays. Otherwise, of course, check out the main stream. It's going to be over on Africa and over on YouTube as well, covered by covered by Tasteless and by State as well. So, again, plenty of StarCraft to be had. And, yeah, a lot of good matches as well. Lots of good matches. The best of the best. Again, the only notable for me that isn't a part of this is Ragnarok. It's a little bit sad, a little bit smooch. But, you know, regardless, at least he's going to be a part of WTL. At least he's a part of World Team League. And he'll have us covered there. So, yeah, look forward to it. Look forward to the next season of GSL. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful. Going to be beautiful. I look forward to it. 100% of the Americans made it into the main event. True, true. NA, OP, Poppy, OP. And yeah, with that, thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. A shout out as well. Earlier today, we had a lot of gifted subs, so thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Always appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you so much. 20 gifted subs even. And yeah, I hope everyone had a good time. Hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow. It's going to be the Korean StarCraft League, KSL. Potentially. I was sick last week and I'm still not recovered. You can't tell, but my throat is actually really sore. It's like I'm barely making it through these casts. I think it was yesterday I needed to get an ice pack. I think like my lymph nodes have been swelling up and stuff like that. I've just been sick, and of course I haven't fully recovered yet. I'm going to the doctors tomorrow. Going to the doctors before KSL. Depending on what they say, depending on what happens, I may be able to cast KSL, or I may take some time off. They may tell me like, "Yo, mate, you need to take like some days to rest." I'm like, like the casting is not helping. So we'll see what they say. And I'll keep you guys posted, keep you guys updated. Check out our Discord. I'll be updating you guys on Discord if the cast won't happen. But again, if it will, it'll be here on the CranKy Ducklings. We'll be covering the Korean StarCraft League. Otherwise, if we have to take some days off, we'll just accumulate replays, and we'll have a replay cast when I do get better. So yeah, that's gonna be the way that we do handle things. We do deal with things. So yeah, hopefully everything's okay and we can just keep things going without a hitch. But if you want to support the CranKy Ducklings, if you want to follow us, !socials. !socials in the chat. You can get a link to our Discord, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and everything else. We do have a YouTube channel we upload on a daily basis, so check out our YouTube as we have plenty of content there on the channel. You can also support us on Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. Yes, to quit StarCraft, unfollow all. Oh no. I'll be fine, Iceland. I'll be fine. Don't worry about it. But thank you. Thank you. !Patreon in the chat if you want to support us. All the money that we make on Patreon goes towards our tournaments, as we do host plenty of events on this channel. It all goes there. If we can grow our events further, then maybe we can make some extra money on the side. But for now, everything does head into our events. So check us out there if you're interested. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Not too sure who. I'm going to double check. If you are unsatiated and if you want some more StarCraft action, Pig is casting the Pig Fest, day number 3. So check out Pig over on his channel. We're going to be raiding a smaller streamer, though. Who can we raid? We'll decide. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys tomorrow for KSL. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time for the next CranKy Duckling stream. Until then, hasta luego. Bye. Take care, everyone. Take care.